I just interviewed 30 recruiters at companies such as Boston Consulting Group, Goldman Sachs, Airbnb, Google, Netflix, Spotify, LinkedIn, and more. And here are the best pieces of career advice to help you advance past the final round interview and land your dream job. Let's dive in.
Don't self-reject. And if you feel like you haven't advocated effectively for yourself, I actually just took matters into my own hands and did it. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by the outcome.
I know imposter syndrome is a real thing, but if you are interviewing, the company wants you. If recruiters are interacting with you, they want you there. They want you to be a part of the community. At McKinsey, put your best foot forward and go through each experience knowing that you have what it takes. You are absolutely capable. Strip away the, I don't have consulting experience. Will I be a good fit? Think about what you do have, what you do bring to the table, and leverage those skills to put yourself in a better light. Know that you absolutely are capable. Be confident through each experience, through each interaction. Be intentional, be thoughtful. And I think those things will help set you apart to get you to offer.
I think Ben Franklin has a great quote. Failing to prepare is preparing to fail. It's great to prepare, and I know people will prepare answers and memorize answers to questions. Don't do that. It's good to prepare and it's good to practice the same answer over and over again. But what you need to do is that when you're in those final round interviews, you need to throw all of that away and really just bring your authentic self to the interview.
I would say probably listening. See you later. No, but I think listening is important. BCG isn't looking for people who are so smart that they know everything. We're looking for people who are capable of learning things quickly, but we don't expect them to know everything. And so when you come in and you don't know a topic, you just ask the BCGer, could you please explain this to me? And they will. They're more than happy to.
Know your why. Know why you're there. Know who you're showing up as when you're there. What I know is, doing the job and, learning the skills. All of that can be taught to you. Who you are when you show up at those final round interviews is who you need to be memorable.
Lean on your network and actually lean on your recruiter more than you think you should. Use your recruiter as much as possible to get the best preparation information you can get. Ask them all the tough questions, and just really make sure that you're taking notes and paying attention to what they're telling you when you get time with them.
Especially when you get to the final round interviews, you have to be authentic with both your strengths, things that you're trying to work on, what you're going to bring to the company, because that's the whole point of, I think, an interview, especially as a young professional.
You want to make sure that you're really present in the interview process, but also make sure you're having a conversation with the other person and really taking notes, mental notes about what they're talking about, because one thing that makes a difference at the end is the candidates who are able to send thank you notes.
Start to talk about yourself as if you're on the team already. It's another thing that I'm actually surprised not a lot of candidates will do. Start to say, I or we will get to do this, or I will help spearhead this, or whatever it might be, because I guarantee that's going to make that team, speaking to you at that point in time, take a step back and be like, okay, yeah, this person actually does see themselves here, and it's going to kind of get naturally their wheels spinning of this person's actually on, are they on my team, are they not, maybe we should hire them.
I think the biggest misconception on the other side as a candidate is that you feel like you're doing something wrong. You're not doing anything wrong, except you're not focusing on your mindset work, and you're talking negatively to yourself half the day, and you're not really strategically putting the time in the right buckets. But you're doing the things, you just need to reorganize how you structure it. More mock interviews, more mindset work, and everything else. Stop stressing, because you're already perfect, you're already whole, you're already doing all the amazing things. It's just a little bit of tweaking that most people need.
I think the key is actually explaining to the recruiters and hiring managers why you fit in that role and that company at that time. Right? So don't forget, there's a couple pieces of that puzzle. You got to talk about all of it. Don't just leave it to chance and talk about one, or think I've got great answers. Give them the whole picture.
For that final round interview, it really is all about understanding exactly how your skills are going to address their pain points. nothing else.
The final piece of advice, students receive offers in consulting because of 4 things. One, they're able to convince the interviewer that they're committed to consulting. They know exactly what they're getting into, they're prepared. Second is that they can demonstrate success-oriented behavior. Third, they exhibit good analytical skills. Fourth, they're able to articulate their thoughts, create a positive presence, defend their answer without being defensive, coming up with creative answers. But the last one, the most important one, is be yourself. Have confidence in yourself. You don't want to go in there and try to be somebody you're not.
Definitely go into those final round conversations and throughout the interview process with thoughtful questions in terms of the role, the responsibilities, and also growing your career long term. Where is this going to take you next?
You've gotten to that final step because they feel like you're qualified. What you have to make sure that you do is you have to, I think of it kind of like an API. You have to connect these endpoints. So your endpoint is a job at this company and you. So what you have to do is find every single opportunity where you can speak to or showcase what your abilities are, whether that's project work, whether that's schoolwork, whether that's a former internship, and how that can directly relate end to end to what it is that they are looking for in that job that you are interviewing for.
Make sure you are showing your interest in the role, because I have seen a lot of candidates kind of get lost in that final round and not be accepted because they simply just didn't express enough interest in the role.
The people who really nail the final round are the people who genuinely can show their failures and their successes. They can articulate what specifically about that company is really exciting them, and who can show their true passion for the company and for the opportunity and for the work that they do. Those are the people who typically get past the final round.
Companies more than ever are asking themselves, are you the type of person who's going to stay at this company, who's going to be excited about being here, who's so bought into what we do that you're going to go above and beyond? So if you don't think you're competent or you're questioning your compatibility, use your commitment to kick the door down. Especially nowadays, it's what employers are looking for.
I think I have 2 pieces of advice. The first one is don't neglect the prep on the behavioral or fit. I can't tell you how many times we'd be in the final round debrief and we all come together, the interviewers and the recruiting teams, to decide. And this person nailed the case, but they weren't coachable. And then the second piece of advice is the George Clooney mindset. Basically, the story is that George Clooney, when he would go into auditions, when he first was starting, he would fail all of them because he thought the producers and the directors didn't want him to succeed. Similar to how when you go into an interviewer and people are nervous and you're thinking they don't want you to get that offer, which is actually the opposite. So adjust that mindset and think the producers, the scriptwriters, the interviewers, they want you to get that offer. They're not sitting there to reject you. That's a kind of a waste of their time. So they're rooting for you.
Just be yourself. Don't discredit yourself to think that you're not good enough who you are, because you're the only one of yourself. You had really unique experiences that shaped you as a person. So do your due diligence, do your research, make sure you're well prepared for your interview, prepare with a friend.
Promise me this, wherever you are, just between me and you, you're gonna ask this question last for every interview, including the final round. Here's the question. As your last question, you say, AJ, thank you so much for your time. I'm interested to know, is there any particular reason why you think I might not be a good fit for this role? Now, here's why you need to ask that question. When you ask that question, you're gonna get instant feedback.
Take ownership of your career journey. Don't blame anyone else. Just be strategic about your resume, be strategic about the interview process. Quick and hard is possible, but that's hard work. Quick and easy is a scam.
Authenticity and being your genuine self is honestly the way to go. You know, showing who you are, showing up as you are. Know that companies like Spotify, like, we really, really appreciate people for their uniqueness and their diversity and all aspects of them that kind of experience-wise make them who they are.
If you are at a final round interview, you're pretty much there, meaning that really the team is just ready to get to know you. They're starting to get to know you past the interview phase and thinking like, well, how will this person show up if they were in the job tomorrow?
Number one, don't worry about a dream job. The job that you get is going to be great for you. You will be able to leverage it into many future dream jobs. And then the second thing is you must practice. You must practice your interviews. Like, it seems so small, but honestly, it's probably the best piece of advice I could give. Record yourself, listen to yourself, make your friend listen to you. The more you practice, the more comfortable you will get. in an interview process, and it will just help you really like elevate your answers and truly connect to the job. So practice, practice, practice.
I think sometimes it's really hard for hiring teams to decide, and it may come down to just one thing that set that other candidate apart. So candidates that are really transparent about their motivations, what's important to them, and what particularly about this company and this opportunity stands out to them. And it's important to be able to really clearly tell that. And also building rapport with your interviewers and really showing up authentically and as a human and letting your personality shine through.
It's about being different. So say there are 20 candidates applying for the same job. What makes you different from other people? For example, in the final round of interview, if you know the interviewer's name, what you could do is say Raj is going to interview you. Literally what you could do is go to LinkedIn, type in my name, you'll get my whole LinkedIn profile, okay? And then you can figure out different areas of interest, which I like to talk about.
I would just say be humble, courteous, and respectful to everyone you meet throughout the process, because I promise you it does go a really long way to showcase that you are someone we want at this company.
Yeah, I think always be curious. I think empathetically and just really be your authentic self throughout the entire process. I think come prepared with questions too. Like I can't stress that enough.
If it's possible to accomplish something that was impossible, then it is possible that nothing is impossible. If you believe that something is possible to accomplish, even if you think that it's impossible, then you've tapped into the notion that nothing is impossible. Some people have it, some people don't, right? Some people lack that mentality. Some people are honing into that mentality, and some people are made of that mentality.
It's not the best candidate, it's the best interviewer. It's like prepare, get really great at asking really great questions, get better with like connecting and like understand where the issue is in your problem. So prepare and just get better and realize that you're not going to ace every interview, but those interviews that you don't ace, like you need to critically look at yourself and go, what do I need to do better? And just consistently get better with your preparation.